super stoked you checked back in, fellow bikeaholics. Welcome. I am Ryan Erlacher with lawabidingbiker.com, and of course, your high-tech redneck. Don't forget to check out all the podcast videos, blogs, and vlogs over at lawabidingbiker.com. You can get the podcast on all major platforms: iTunes, Zune, BlackBerry, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio. Of course, we have our own app too. Oh, and don't forget, if you appreciate all the free content, don't forget to go over to lawabidingbiker.com/donate if you want to throw us a bone, help us out so the free content keeps coming your way, the podcasts and videos and everything that. I also have a Patreon page, lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, if you want to find out how you can help there. We really do appreciate all the support, and we plan on going strong here, and we're going to continue to pump the content out to you guys. So, what do I have in store for you today? Well, we did another free video for you guys, a tutorial video. We bought some LED taillights and signals, and we decided to put them on Oscar's 2013 Ultra Classic. So enjoy the video. Hopefully it's helpful. The LEDs are very bright. We've noticed when riding with them, can certainly be seen better from the rear. And now that he has them, I may put them on my bike too. So enjoy the video. So we'll be installing on Oscar's 2013 Harley Ultra Limited. We're going to be installing a LED taillight and LED signals. In front of you, you see the two kits there. It's Harley Davidson kit number 678-00357. That's the part number. That's for the taillight, LED taillight. And for the LED rear turn signals, it is part number 68128-10. All right, let's get at it. So here's the taillight kit and the signal kit, LED kits, all out on the bench. It's got the different parts for it. First thing we're doing is just removing the taillight itself with Phillips on each side, Phillips screwdriver. Comes off with a plug there.
So there are two bolts that hold in the turn signal. The bottom one I've already taken out, which you can see through the mirrors right here. The top is up inside here, and because of the shroud, it's difficult to get any type of wrenches in there. So what I have is the 5/32 Allen head, which has a 1/4 inch backing on it here, and I've got a 1/4 inch small wrench. What I'll do is get the fitting the Allen in there, and then I'll use this wrench to turn it. So I've removed the two bolts out of the back of this light assembly, and now it's loose. What I used, again, as I mentioned earlier, was a 5/32 Allen head with a 1/4 inch drive. To turn it, we used a 1/4 inch box-in wrench. If you were to have a socket box-in wrench where you could just sit there and turn this thing, it'd be a lot easier. It was kind of tedious for me to keep having to adjust it and turn it and adjust it and turn it. So if you do have a box-end ratchet, I'd highly suggest it, or if you got time to go buy one before you do it, it'll make it easier for you. Now that we have the light assembly loose, we'll need to remove the wiring. There's a little tab up here on top that you push, and the plug will come out. According to the directions, you have to clip the connector off, otherwise it won't fit back through the holes here. So we're going to snip this thing off here, one at a time. We'll save that for later in case he wants to put it back together and never reuse it. And we'll slide this right out, and we'll have this light free. So my hand was in the way and you couldn't quite see. What I did is I snipped off the plug because the plug wouldn't come back through the fender and back through the bracket, so I just snipped it right off.
So we're just working on the right signal, taking it off the same way. Very tedious, but we'll get that off. Move along. Alright, so what they're doing now is they're just going to run the wires in the new LED signals. I'm going to run it through the channel there. After it gets run through the channel, we'll bolt it back on and then we'll wire it in a bit.
So we've got the new LED turn signals on, two bolts, top and bottom, like we discussed earlier. Put those on, ran the wire through the channel, through the hole in the fender, and back out to here. One thing to keep in mind is that when you run these wires back up, reach up inside the fender, because there's little clips that hold these wires away from your tire. So make sure you reach up in there, put the wire back in the original clips, keep them up away from the tire. Okay, so there's 4 small plug adapters here. You're going to grab the 2 smallest ones. If you compare them, you can tell there's 2 that are smaller than the others. The instructions first say to take the 2 red and yellow wires, it's red with a little yellow stripe, and put them together into one plug, so they both go from each slide into one. Slide these guys right in here, like so, and you'll hear click. Grab the other red and yellow, slide it in like this, and it'll click, and then you drop this little cap down which holds everything together. So now that we've done that, then we're going to move to the blue wires. Same process, we're going to repeat as the red with the yellow stripe. First we'll drop a blue one in on one side, and sometimes they can be a little stingy, and once it goes in you'll hear it click. If it doesn't click, you've got it upside down, you'll need to turn it around, otherwise it won't hold itself in place. Get the other one in, heard it click, and then we're going to pop that down. Okay, we've got our 2 harnesses here. We've got the 2 reds with yellow stripe together and the 2 blues. In your kit, you're going to have what they call a Y harness, meaning that you've got 2 wires going into one. We're going to feed these 2 back to each other into one wire, which will eventually go into harness in one of the next steps. So take one of your wire harnesses, your Y harness they call it, and click it together. Makes a nice solid connection. And grab the other one and plug it on. And in the following steps you'll see where we put that back into another harness. The next step is to grab the 2 larger 2-prong adapters, and you're going to put the violet wire into 1, the black wire into 2, and these things are numbered. If you look at them, the left is 1 and the right is 2, so the violet goes into the left one as I have on this one, and the black goes into the other side. So now I've got the violet and the black from that turn signal. And if you don't have it the right direction, it won't click in. You know you don't have it right. So let me spin that thing around until I get it right. And you hear that nice little click, so you know you've done it. Drop your hood down. Move to the other. Violet is number 1, which is the left, and the black is number 2, which is the right. Slide that in. Hear the nice little click, and close the flap. The next step would be to plug in the 2 turn signals, the violets and the blacks, the right on the right. If you want, you can put some more dielectric grease in there. There's a lot already from the factory. For informational purposes, I'll show you where to put it in, and then I'll go get the grease and add some more to it. But plug those both in. And then you've got your taillight plug-in for the new LED headlights. It's going to go with these turn signals. And according to the directions, you put the black into slot 4, the red yellow into slot 3, and this blue into slot 1. And again, left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the black slides into number 4. There's that click. Red into 3. Skip over and put that blue into 1. Now you go into the 2 Y adapters. Remember we've got the blue going into one Y adapter and the red with the yellow stripe going into the other one according to the directions. You take the blue Y adapter and it goes into slot 3. Or is that 2? Slot 2, sorry, slot 2. Slide in until it clicks. And if you listen very carefully, you'll hear Oscar in the background opening a Coors Light. That's called mechanics fluid. Okay, now that we got those all correctly lined up, we're going to close that up. And then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, now the harness for the Fender tip lamp is this top left one here. It's a blue and a black wire. You're going to need to pull that out. Open up the release, the latch for the door. You see that you're currently using number 1 and number 3. The other Y adapter, or the red/yellow, the red with the yellow stripe, is going to go into slot number 2 on the Fender tip lamp assembly. You just open up the door like I said. You're going to slide this little guy right in the middle into slot 2. You hear that beautiful click sound, you know you're in there good, and close it down. Now on models that don't have the Fender tip lamp, the kit comes with a plug-in so that you can put that Y adapter from the red and the yellow into 2 and slide it into here. But this model bike has the Fender tip lamp, so that is already there. So that's why we open it up and added the red and yellow to the existing plug. Again, if you don't have this, it comes with the kit, comes with an extra plug-in so that you can put your red and yellow Y into the adapter and plug it in. And the saying goes that if you love it, lube it. The same goes with these connections. We have some grease here that prevents corrosion. We're going to put a little bit of grease on each of these plugs, although there still is some left in the stock sockets. Oscar really appreciates a lot of lube, so we're going to lube it up good for him here. Each of these sockets, connectors I guess is a technical term. Now that we've got some grease on each of those, we're going to put them in where they belong. You've got two right here in the middle, your left and right turn signals. So this is the right, as you can see. We'll go into here and push it in till it clicks, and you heard that hopefully in the video. Then we're going to get the left, push it in till it clicks. Now the tail tip lamp, or tip tail lamp, whatever it was, is the top. It's the 3 plug right here. We're going to put that bad boy in there where it belongs till it clicks. And now we've got our new plug-in for the new tail light, which we're going to install here in just a second. That's the bottom one here on the left. It's the 4-pin. So it's pretty hard to mess these up. There's 2 2s, a 3, and a 4. We're sliding that last one in until it clicks, and we're in. I'm going to tuck these wires back out of the way here and plug in our tail lamp. And then we'll secure that and we'll test it to make sure that it's working.
And we're just screwing the tail light back in, and we'll test everything.
Brake lights work.
Brake lights, left signal, right signal. There you go, hit brake lights again. Very nice.